Okay, this is Dave Vellante, and I'm here with Byran Pretre, who is a senior IT operations manager at Orbital Sciences. Hi, Bryan.
Hello.
Hey, so thanks for taking some time with the Wikibon community today. We just heard this great talk. We're down here at SNW. First of all, Bryan, can you tell us a little bit something about Orbital Sciences?
Sure. We're a leading manufacturer of small space satellite systems and launch vehicles. Do a lot of work in the commercial and government aerospace industry, specifically surrounding satellites, launch vehicles, targets, countermeasures, missile defense systems, things of that nature.
So we just heard your talk on ILM or HSM, and you're doing this file virtualization strategy. Huge unstructured growth, right?
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about what the drivers are? You talked about your CIO and the metric that he really looks at. What is that?
Right. So basically, especially in these economic times, if you're going to invest any kind of capital for a project, he's going to look for a return on invested capital, and typically they don't want to see any more than 12 to 14 months return. Sometimes longer, depending upon what the long-term capital savings are. So it really came down to how fast our unstructured storage was growing, which is 60 to 70% a year. The fact that it was kind of unsustainable growth, and how do we manage that growth? And if we're going to implement a tool to do that, how long is it going to take to recover the cost of that tool itself?
Okay, so what you were able to do was implement what you call it a tier 1 avoidance strategy, right?
Correct.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So what we did is we implemented the F5 ARX device that does storage virtualization, implements a global namespace, literally separates the presentation of your data from the physical location of your data, which gives you the ability to move things from tier 1 to tier 2, gives you the ability to move things from system to system. And you can do that based on rule sets. So we can literally say if a file hasn't been modified in the last 180 days and it's an unstructured file type, move it from tier 1 to tier 2. So you get a cost savings, significant cost savings, from going from 15,000 RPM fiber channel drives to 7,200 RPM 1 terabyte SATA drives. So the reality, what we're trying to do is avoid purchasing tier 1 for the foreseeable future by migrating all that data to tier 2, which is much cheaper disk. And we don't expect to have to purchase any more tier 1 disk within the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, what was the user impact of moving from tier 1 to tier 2? Did they see any difference?
Literally none, or next to none. I think if you're smart about it and you know which systems, it kind of makes sense. You don't want to move your high performance systems to tier 2 because they're gonna hammer the spindles pretty hard on your disk subsystem. But for your unstructured data, all your Word documents, even engineering data that's kind of referenced and then written out to disk, we've seen zero impact to the end users.
Excellent. Okay, Byran Pretre, thanks very much for spending some time with your peers at the Wikibon community.
You're welcome. Thank you.